Hi everyone, welcome back to the Great Northern Exotic Garden. Today's video will be a December tour after a full week of frosts and sub-zero temperatures. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and turn the notification bell on. Right, let's get into it. So we've had nearly a full week of nighttime temperatures down to -2. The banana leaves that I chopped off last week have all been frosted. Should really use them for mulch. You see the bananas are wrapped up in their winter homes now. Let's take a look around this bed. Cordyline australis. Pretty much bomb-proof, this one. Euphorbia shillingi. It's done now for the winter. I'll leave it there for a little bit of interest. Persicaria, red dragon, actually still doing pretty well. Excuse me. So for the last few years, it has, with the first frost, died right back down to the ground. The Persicaria, red dragon. But you can see here, although it has, any exposed bits have gone limp, it's still looking okay on the crown. A little young palm tree there. Chamarops, however you pronounce it. Very slow growing. Rudbeckia. The great thing about Rudbeckia is how many seeds it produces. All these seed heads I will collect. Leave for the birds over winter, but I will collect whatever's there in spring and sow them around the garden, help that self-seeding. Echium. I just put this on, bit of fleece on there. The crown looks protected. Should do okay under a single layer of fleece for me. And you can see this one, this is a smaller Echium here though, but again, the crown's protected, but this is what happens when the leaves are frosted. It doesn't take very kindly to the frost and Echium, but fingers crossed, with the crown protected, it should do okay. Nasturtiums have just turned to mush. There's a canna here. I'm leaving that in the ground. It didn't do very well this year, so I'm going to leave it to nature to see what happens. Moving over to the huge phormium. Flower spikes always look good there over winter. A few Rudbeckias there that should flower next year. I will, again, this is the bed that I'm going to be filling with gravel and turning into a dry bed. So the double-trunked Trachycarbus fortunei will be moving. What else is in here? Amaranthus died off. I've got some cardoons that flowered in the first year. I'll dig those up and move them. What else have we got? Bamboo. I'll find a place for that bamboo somewhere. A little bit of sunlight. Here's a tetrapanax. So it's actually not too bad. What's interesting though is when you get the frost, when you get the sort of borderline frosts, it's a really good opportunity to work out where your frost pockets are. And definitely this lower lawn, which is a foot or a foot and a half lower than the rest of it, does get the majority of the frost, whereas the up on this sort of sloping side, because I'm sort of facing north here, and it is sloping down slightly, and it does make a little bit of difference. So the tetrapanax, although it should totally blacken and die back to the woody stem, it's not too bad actually. It is protected by the red hot pokers, Niphophia. Now this Niphophia is a little bit going wild now, but it will be chopped right back in spring and divided. But for now, it does offer a little bit of protection to the Tetrapanax. What else have I got? Agapanthus. I'll keep this Agapanthus in the ground, put a little bit of straw in the crown, but you see the leaves have not reacted too badly to the frosts. Yeah, there you go. That's what a Tetrapanax leaf should look like after the first frosts. Again, nasturtiums all turned to mush. Miscanthus giganteus here, looking very autumnal. But again, I'll leave that in there for winter interest. I love that. Look at the colour of those stems. Sort of reddy brown. And this will all be cut back in March, April for the new growth. Wildflower bed. I think I'm gonna rip this out. I think my plan next year will be maybe to start a new grove of Musabastu bananas there, because this is the hammock chill out zone. And when I sowed the wildflower meadow, expecting it to be a foot or so off the ground, it did take over. So if anyone's got any ideas of low growing tropical plants that would work well in the hammock area, let me know. Wisteria's totally died back now. Paulonia foxglove tree is just a stump. Here it is. Didn't get very tall this year, first year in the ground. A little bit of euphorbia. Can't remember the name. Ascot, this one. Over the bridge, Arondodonax, still looking green, still growing strong. Fatsia japonica, got two small ones here, I've got a bigger one further round. Of course, these are indestructible. Another small Trachycarpus there. More euphorbia. Here's another Echium. You see where it hasn't been, where the leaves haven't been protected. They've blackened off, but the crown's still looking good. I've only ever lost Echiums before. I've never managed to get an Echium to flower, so fingers crossed. You live and learn. Moving on, here's a Gunnera tinctoria. I just stuck a couple of banana leaves down as mulch, but it's pretty well protected there. Another euphorbia, Robbie I think this one is. There's the barrel pond that has been frozen over. Begonia cordifolia, bit of ice. There you go, look. West facing, so no direct sunlight on this side. Again, this is frozen. I don't think the pond is. No, pond's not frozen, but it has been. Another Gunnera. I might swap that out. I might dig that out next year, sell that, replace it with my Colocasia Thai Giant. Ferns are still looking good. This huge fern here is the only original plant that was in the garden. There was no planting at all apart from two huge ferns. This one, and there's one there as well. This is the biggest Fatsia, probably the best one as well, in deep shade. Got the colour of those leaves. Yucca gloriosa. A little bit more Persicaria red dragon. I've managed to propagate that pretty successfully around the garden. Lots of bamboos, Fargesia ruffia. Not that interesting. Very healthy looking cardoon there. These were all in the ground, grown from seed this year, so not doing too bad for the first year. Into the greenhouse. A little bit of bubble wraps come down. Euchrostrata, my puntia, I don't know what a puntia it is there. Dendroceras littoralis, doing okay. I've managed to keep the temperature well above freezing, maybe 3, lows of 3. And I'm seeing what I can get away with. I have moved my expensive cacti into the house just to be on the safe side, but everything else is, well, I'm taking a chance with it. Even the moon cactus that is on a dragon fruit grafting stock, we'll see how it goes. If it dies, it dies. Yeah, I've got all my pink china colocaceas. I've got some more T-Rex, tetrapanax, a couple of seed grown examples there. I'll put them in the ground next year, but it's doing okay. There's water still frosted. Yeah, still ice on there. See, it's a solid. How thick is that? A good centimetre thick. Interesting when you see the different microclimates. Yeah, that's, again, this is on the west facing wall, so no direct sunlight back here. Anything else worth showing? I mean, this is, at this point of the year when it gets muddy, this is the time of year when I just think I can't wait to get some paths in. There will be some paths put in. That's one of the jobs for next year. I don't know, gravel or pavers or something, but I would like to get rid of this grass. Put a roof on the pergola. And eventually this lawn will be going. While the kids are still young, it's really useful. But eventually, all of this I'd love planted up. So, there you go. A December tropical garden tour, post-frosts. Still plenty of interest. Still plenty of life in the garden. And I think that's one thing that I've learnt, having done this type of gardening for a couple of years now. I did start the garden in early 2020 during lockdown. Is each winter you can work out what works in terms of structure and what doesn't work, and year on year add to that winter interest. Well, that's it for now. Don't forget to subscribe, give it a like. See you soon.